It's not required and doesn't need them to wipe at the beginning to even start the fight, which was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in raiding in my life.
Let's have one setup just to get to phase 2, and then after that we change that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very weird time for everybody. So we might see. How do you guys feel? You feel confident that if they have the perfect pull, that Enrage isn't going to be a problem for them with this setup? Or are you guys suspecting that we might be going back to the drawing board relatively soon if they get down there and like, oh, okay, we still have a long way to go? No? Instantaneously, no. Yes. Smiley face. I designed this. Smiley face. No, no, no.
I think judging from that one pull where they got to enrage there, a lot can be improved. I'm sure they know that as well. Once it's hard for them to really say if enrage is going to be an issue until they kind of know how well that pull went, and it's a little bit hard seeing from the sidelines here while we're watching them raid how much is going wrong, how much is going right compared to what they're intended, because obviously they do not share their voice comms, so we don't know what they're actually kind of intending to do with everything.
It's really easy. If somebody died, it went wrong. That's all we need to know.
Yeah, just like if you run out of health, you die.
Yeah, and so we assume something went wrong there. We're going to go ahead and say that. Again, Xaylia with the charge, getting through it just nicely and looking pretty good. Now, we are going to see that big ramp up again. Hopefully, Xaylia is going to be able to... He's moving see the difference here? He's kind of pre-moving to be closer to where the barrier is going to be. He's sort of adjusting himself. He's going to be starting to move his way over there. I wonder if he will change his actual overall position to be in the position so he's going to be basically barriering on himself.
Yeah.
As again, it is predetermined where they're going to end up with that. But he seems to be shimmying left, doing what we call in raiding the stutter stepping, which is a big thing that casters need to learn how to do. Certainly as you move up into more difficult content, stutter stepping is a vital element, which is using the global cooldown to physically move your character without losing any casts. So you generally kind of stutter your way literally across the room.
Yep, and obviously because we have these edicts or that they need to follow, they are going to be turning around the room in a clockwise position anyway. So they know in 30 seconds, well, this part of the room is going to be cut off from us, so we're going to have to be here. Now we're seeing the barrier comes down.
Just get inside this time, which is great to see. Yeah, exactly what we said. A little bit of sort of stepping going on. He's getting punished, actually, Xaylia, quite a lot. He's had a lot of the mechanics being thrown at him this time. Manages to just top himself before the final verdict does come into play there.
Yeah, this is a moment when you're not going to be able to be healed a few seconds after you're getting taking damage. So we actually have a death going down there as well.
I lose flex, but he's got the combat res on him immediately.
He didn't make it in time, and he wasn't able to be alive. So that last taking him the last 40%. Skill not being able to be topped off there either, really. Now it's kicking in, his being able to be healed for a few seconds.
The pace brush is being used just to keep it going there. This is where they wiped last time. Got it sorted this time. So maybe we'll get something nicer out of this pull. Some more information as to how dangerous this... Oh, God, they almost didn't soak it. But I'm just
they have the boss
oh, my heart, guys. Come on now.
They have the boss sub 35% as well. So now we're going to start seeing the range more dealing with the other boss here. And we actually see the Demon Hunter as well swapping over.
Yep.
Fang swapping over, and it's like Demon Hunters have this insane mobility as well. So even though that boss isn't very nice to be at for melee due to that big AoE that's popping off, a Demon Hunter can just easily fast get out of that and then just come back right back at it and DPS. And they're gonna want to have to make DPS her as much as possible now while they are dealing with the sparks as well.
There was kind of a big sigh that just came out of Xaylia. I'm not sure what it is he saw, but I don't know whether they already know something's going to go wrong. Now we're seeing the 3-minute warning for the Berserk. We are looking at, it's hard to see the health percentages here. We got 21%.
21% as well as 63%.
63%, but now we have got that sub 35% going on. So all 4 Shadow Priests are now absolutely starting to rain down hellfire on both of these enemies, which is exactly what it's to do. Flex is a little far behind because he did have the death, but he will be catching up. He's still going to be taking full advantage of those abilities.
Now, this is a very annoying overlap here where you have the standalone debuff as well as you have to stack into this circle. So it only overlaps for a few seconds there, but you have to basically make sure that everyone gets in while also staying spread, which is quite the engineering feat, so to say, in terms of like positioning for everyone and being able to do that in time as well at this very moment. So Yeah, the bosses are still dropping pretty fast, but we're getting closer and closer to the Enrage.
We are indeed. That Enrage is going to be crucial to see how well this goes with the Enrage and how close they are to dealing with this, or whether they're going to have to go back to the drawing board on characters. The information they're gaining at this point is absolutely vital to what is ultimately going to be a potential kill for this fight as as it's coming ever closer. It's coming ever closer, chat. There's the next barrier, the repeating sort of system that this fight goes under, dealing with the charge and getting through that. The raid is looking very healthy, so this is a great pull. We have had a death, which was recovered very quickly. There's Forex, please soak it. Come on now. Get in there. Oh, Xaylia with the clutch save, actually.
We're going to have one more spark coming off in a few seconds here. They're going to be able to heal everyone up. We had a death there just because it was a little bit too much damage coming out there, even though they had all the externals cooldowns up and available that they were planning on using there. So now we're looking at 9% and 33%, so we got another minute or two before the Enrage. This is looking pretty well.
This is looking pretty solid, and we are really going to figure out exactly how 1 minute remains on this fight, assuming they have updated the Berserk timer, which they may not have, chat. They may not have updated the Berserk timer just yet. We are at the 1 minute timer as to whether or not they're going to be able to do this. Now, they do have to die together, so they'll be putting a little bit more focus into the DPS, onto the ranged ad, doing the best there. And as you said, you've got Fragnance is jumping between them right now to try and do as much damage as he possibly can. Keeping these bosses separated. They're very, very healthy, but that Berserk timer is coming ever, ever closer. 30 seconds remain for them to try and punish this. I think, looking at it now, they're a little outside of being able to do this within 30 seconds, but have they updated that Berserk timer, Trekkie?
Yeah, and they might not have been updating it looking at the numbers, but this looks very doable if they have an extra minute here. However, now they have the most critical part. This is the last pair of sparks they're going to deal with.
We're about to find out whether this Berserk timer has been updated or not, and if it hasn't been updated, they have about 13 seconds to a minute. Here's the 5 seconds.
They don't seem to be dealing too much with the sparks here, but they are going to be separating here with a little bit of time. They're going to.
The bosses did not Berserk. This is well within doable grasp now, as the percentages on both bosses are dwindling for Method. Is this the opportunity they have to retake the lead in this world first race?
They're going to have one barrier for the very last spark coming off here as well, if they can actually manage to gather up together. But this is going very well. 2% and 5% remaining on the bosses.
Yeah, 2% and 5% remaining. The boss is going to start healing the other one, and they're going to do the full.
Just wait, it's dead.
Wait. Oh!
Fragnance taunting out the boss there and trying to kite as much as possible, because when they are close to each other, they cannot be DPS. This is going to be like an Una strat.
There's the Berserk. The bosses have Berserk.
No, they can't be tanked together. They need to be separated as well as they can. They are so close.
They're separated
0.5, 0.4%. They need to be separated.
This is wonderful work with the separation. They're going to get the kill.
One boss.
They're pushing it. They're cutting as much
go.
They got it! They have retaken the lead once again in the world first race. They have shown that was such control at the end by all the players, figuring out who had aggro, who was going to move into different directions each time. Tremendous performance from the guys there. Absolutely incredible. Good God, that was amazing. Keeping calm in that scenario for the players was unbelievable. Once again, we had Limit catch up yesterday. They took the lead, and Method has come back, defeated Orgazoa this morning, and just was we at 17 pulls, have retaken the lead once again in the race.
Yeah, this is an incredible show from Method's side here as well, getting them down in so many less pulls as well compared to the other fights as well. We had Ashran being about 40-50 pulls as well as Orgazoa 55, I believe. And just 17 pulls. Knowing these raiders just being able to perform so well in a very scripted encounter, very predictable. They just have to get all the overlaps, all that sorted out, and I'm not quite sure how close they were to the actual Berserk there, but adding the extra minute.
I mean, those bosses were in Berserk. I want to say they were in Berserk for about 20 seconds there. They were in Berserk for 20 seconds, and the complicated strategy that had to be employed there, because as you said, we saw the bosses move together and that shield come up.
Yeah.
And very, very quickly, each player is watching which boss is targeting who, because they'll have different levels of aggro across both of them, and then realizing, I have to go this way, you need to go that way, just to keep them together while still putting out that little trickle of damage, which was all that was needed in order to get that last couple of percent. that was facing the calm during the storm from those players there, because every time the boss got near them, it was one-shotting them. Very lucky a spark didn't go off during that period of time as well.
Well, the very last wave of sparks, they didn't really put too much effort into making sure that they were dying as fast as possible. They were offsetting them, though, which is the important part, but that means that you don't really have as much control of when they are going to end up dying. But they offset them enough so that they died at proper intervals, right? And then just when it goes down very like randomly or like on one side, and then just Fragment coming in there taunting the boss, certain kite right away, just making sure that they do not touch each other, because if they do, even that one last percent is gonna take ages to get through at the very end.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, you would expect some sort of panic there. You'd expect people to say, where should I go? But, you know, is it which one's looking at me?
Yeah.
But no, we didn't see. We actually saw almost perfect control from everybody on which ad was, which of the bosses was going to go and follow who, where it needed to be. Even when we saw, and we will look at it back when we do get a replay of that kill, we even saw the bosses kind of coming back together and the players realizing who it was targeting and then switching around as quickly as possible. We may have even saw a grip there, and some clutch plays there. I mean, we were looking at a couple of point of views, but Xaylia taking that soak at the very last second, that was a missed soak and would definitely have been a wipe just midway through the fight. All sorts of little elements led to that, as well as thank you, Blizzard, for having a slightly longer Berserk timer than what was advertised, guys. A slightly longer Berserk timer.